points allowed in October. They reversed that. 21 points allowed. The rush game really coming on since the bye week.
So that's the setup for our game. The Buccaneers have won the toss and they deferred, so the Raiders will get the ball first. And so Carson Palmer will lead the way.
They spotted the ball on the wrong end, I guess, and so now the teams are taking their right respective places.
Of course, these teams face each other in Super Bowl 37, with Tampa Bay winning 48-21 back in 2003, and a game that my partner here remembers so well.
And both teams have really struggled since. The Oakland Raiders never getting back to that, and they're hopeful that under Dennis Allen they can get back to more Super Bowls. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers really like the direction they're going under Greg Schiano as well.
And there you saw one of the players, one of your teammates of that Super Bowl championship, Rondé Barber. So we're set to go now that we know where we are, and Mike Goodson will be back in the end zone to return the opening kick. Michael Kanan will do the honors for the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, by the way, have never won in Oakland. They are 0-5 here in this stadium. One of these teams will get to the 500 mark. For them at the halfway mark at 4-4. And the kickoff into the end zone and run out by Goodson. Mike Goodson. And he crosses the 15-yard line. And Carson Palmer leading the Raiders, rejuvenated and revived. And last year, after retiring, traded from the Bengals to this club, and he has 13 straight games with 200 or more passing yards. Shocking that that's a team record considering the quarterbacks they've had.
Yeah, exactly. We saw Jim Plunkett earlier. Great history. Rich Gannon, great history of quarterbacks. Surprising statistic there.
And the Snake Kenny Stabler as well. First down up from the 17. Throwing on first down and incomplete, intended for Denarius Moore and covered by Eric Wright. Let's take a look at the Oakland offense. They talk about how much they like to run, but they've been more effective throwing it, John.
They have, but they would really like to get Darren McFadden going. They feel like they made progress towards that last week in fourth quarter at Kansas City. It's all about these guys up front, though.
2nd and 10. Brandon Myers, the tight end, moving to the left. Play action and going up top, and no receiver was downfield, and a cross up there on the route run. Now let's take a look at the Buccaneers defensively, and they strength is that imposing front line.
It starts up front, and you ask Greg Knapp and Carson Palmer, it's the two guys in the middle, Gerald McCoy, Roy Miller, the linebackers led by rookie Levante David. And then, as you called him, the ageless one, Rondé Barber, playing at an incredibly high level at the free safety position.
It'll be 3rd and 10, and we'll have a penalty marker down. Walt Anderson is the referee today.
Encroachment, number 20. Defense.
And Rondé Barber on encroachment, 5-yard penalty. See who was the actual intended receiver perhaps on that last play.
It was Denarius Moore, and a clear miscommunication between Carson Palmer. Carson thinks he's going to the post. Denarius Moore stops. The result, an incomplete pass. Now 3rd and 5 for Tampa.
Daquan Bowers, who was activated before the Minnesota game, played in about a dozen plays, is in there now, number 91. Coming off an injury, 3rd and 5, and the pass thrown underneath, and it's caught by Darren McFadden, and a good tackle by Rondé Barber, saving a first down, and the Raiders will have to punt.
Well, great open field tackle by Rondé Barber. The Oakland Raiders try to get it to McFadden and trusting him that he can get the rest of the yards, but that's one thing Rondé has done terrifically throughout his career, is tackle.
Roscoe Parrish is back deep, and Shane Leckler will punt from inside his 15. Fair catch at the 27, and that's where the Buccaneers will have their first offensive series of the game. And Josh Freeman And for the Tampa Bay quarterback, unquestionably a rebound year for him. taking control of this offense. And how hot has he been?
Well, it's rare when you can do two things: get the ball downfield effectively while at the same time protecting the football. You're playing at a high level. That's exactly what Josh Freeman has done the last 3 weeks, and he's playing the position better than anybody.
Starting from the 28. Freeman will throw on first down, doesn't see anyone and takes off. And Freeman will slide for the first down as he gets to the 41 and a gain of 13 yards. Let's take a look at the Buccaneers offense. We know the skill people have come through, John, but huge loss up front.
No doubt about it. You have all this weaponry led by the two receivers, Vincent Jackson and Mike Williams. But it's really on these guys, particularly in the interior. Zutah, Ted Larson, Jamon Meredith, not starters at the beginning of the year. Zutah shifting over to the left guard to fill the big shoes of Carl Nix, who they lost to injury last week for the season.
First down from the 41. Freeman's pass and off the hands of Dallas Clark. Incomplete. And it'll be second down and 10. And very similar, John, to the Tampa Bay defense. The Raiders' strength is up front.
It really is. And again, right in the middle, Richard Seymour, the great player, Tommy Kelly, Lamar Houston has been playing extremely well. The linebackers playing at a high level. The rookie Miles Burris and Philip Wheeler, you'll see them all over the field. Michael Huff moves from safety to corner, an unusual move, but he's done it well.
Boy, he has, and you never see that. Second down and 10. And here is Martin. Martin coming home. Was born here in Oakland, then moved to Stockton, California, and he gets 4 yards on the first running play for the Bucs. And that'll bring up third down.
Third down has been a Achilles heel for this offense throughout the course of the year. 26th in the league. Coming into today at 33%. They feel like they're getting better. You have all these weapons. They feel like they're learning how to utilize them, particularly on third down.
Bucs have to get into Raider territory to keep possession. Pressure, and Freeman loses the ball. Josh Freeman fumbles. And it was Andre Carter, former Patriot, who knocked the ball out of Freeman's hands. And it's recovered by Tampa Bay. So that is the 5th time this year that Freeman has fumbled. He hasn't lost one yet.
You find a weakness in a defense. Carl Nix is out. What do? You go right where he used to play. They go right up the gut with the pressure right over Jeremy Zutah. Miles Burris and Andre Carter get there, cause the fumble, and Zutah at least gets it back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And fortunate, John, to get it back. So back now is Phillip Adams for the Raiders, and Michael Kanan will be punting. So a near turnover on the Bucs' first possession, and a great high kick, and Adams will return it from inside the 20, and he'll be buried there, actually back to about the 15-yard line. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers avoiding disaster as Freeman fumbles. Bucs get it back. No score early in the game. Back here in Oakland, no score. Each team has had the ball once. And Carson Palmer making his 17th start for the Raiders. And an offense more to his liking without question. Starting from the 16. Pass off the hands of the tight end, Brandon Myers.
Dick, you talk about Carson Palmer. I think we all remember the Raiders trade for him in the middle of the year last year. He had been on the couch, and all of a sudden he's thrown in to what he said was a very chaotic situation. The owner, Al Davis, had just passed away. Hugh Jackson, he said, was the GM. He was the head coach and the offensive coordinator.
Second down and 10 from inside the 5, in trouble, and he dumps it off. And tackled at the 15 is Darius Hayward-Bay. the receiver who came up to make the play after good pressure, and we're seeing the no huddle early on by the Raiders, something they used last week.
Well, they put a lot on Carson Palmer's plate, and he'll tell you that this year there's so much more calmness and stability, and he really credits Dennis Allen, the new head coach, for bringing that calmness and stability along with the general manager, Reggie McKenzie.
Well, you said the Bucs were not effective on third down offense, but they are defensively. It'll be 3rd down and 11. Daquan Bowers is in the game as a pass rusher, and a penalty flag is down, and a false start call coming up against the Raiders.
Number 82, offense.
And it's
5-yard
against
penalty, still 3rd down.
Richard Gordon, one of the tight ends. That'll place the ball at the 10 now.
That won't make Dennis Allen happy, because it's something he has preached unbelievably since he's been here. He's had good results. He said the pre-snap penalties and the post-snap penalties are the ones we had to get rid of. They've done a nice job. Not right there, though.
3rd and 16. Palmer inside his 5, drills it, completes the pass, won't get the first down. Brandon Myers, the tight end, tackled by Quincy Black for a game break. Let's send it out to Patrick O'Neill.
All right, Dick, thanks. Vikings at the Seahawks all day. Adrian Peterson feeling good early in this one. Second play from scrimmage. What a move. 74 yards, but AP would get tracked down at the 1. From there, he would punch it in. The Vikings up 7-0 on Seattle. Dick and John.
All right, Patrick, as Shane Leckler punting to Roscoe Parrish. Great punt by Leckler, and Parrish, flag is down, and Parrish is tackled inside the 20. Mike Mitchell with great hustle downfield for the Raiders. And a 59-yard punt that time by Leckler, one of the best in the league.
What a tremendous punt, because
illegal block in the back, number 17.
And illegal block in the back as well by Aurelius Ben.
Timeout.
And that's going to set the Buccaneers way back. Shane Leckler gets the job done for Oakland. And this is the family fun zone they have here outside the Coliseum, where you could try to be another Sebastian Janikowski. Easier said than done.
Yes, sir.
And same for the Bucs, who start from the 10, following the great punt and then the penalty. Freeman inside his 5, and he completes the pass and gets it out to the 15, where Nate Byam makes the play, and the flag is down.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 93, defense.
And a roughing the passer call against Tommy Kelly will give the Buccaneers new life here.
1st down.
Dick, and we talk about it in the open. Dennis Allen has made this a more disciplined football team already on offense. We see on 3rd down a false start. Now on defense, a roughing the passer by Tommy Kelly. He goes to the head of Freeman, to the face mask, and they'll call that every time. Fans may not like it. They're asked to call that, and they do.
Hey, John, you talked about this newfangled discipline Steve has at the start.
It's not working so well right now. Poise has left the building.
Kelly, a Pro Bowl alternate each of the last 2 years. Crowd expresses their displeasure, so a 1st down for the Bucs on the 30. They got breathing room here. Here is Doug Martin. Martin going to the outside, and with a little juke gets a 1st down before a time on Branch knocks him away, and another flag is down. So that would be a 12-yard gain pending the
Personal
call.
foul, unnecessary roughness, horse collar tackle, number 33, defense.
How about this? Time on Branch,
down.
the strong safety, with a personal foul. Tacking on more yards here.
They're going to get Tyvon Branch with a horse collar. Gets his hands in the pads of Doug Martin, and he's going to make a yank down. The league is on that one as well, and an undisciplined Raiders thus far, and Dennis Allen clearly doesn't like that call.
Penalties 2 apiece, but it's deceptive there with critical ones against the Raiders. So the Bucs have a 1st down on the 43 of Oakland. Play action for Freeman. Goes out to the right to Eric Loring. And Lorig, the reliable fullback, after the catch, works his way for the first down, picking up 11 yards. Good play by Lorig.
Eric Lorig, former Stanford fans in the area may remember him as a defensive end, but he converted over to tight end, then to fullback, and he's really coming to his own as a blocking fullback, but also as a weapon in the passing game. They've been utilizing him the last couple of weeks very well.
And a gain of 11, so now the Bucs are on the 32 of Oakland after starting from their own 10. Here's Martin. And Martin is going to be stopped after a gain of maybe a yard or two by Branch, the strong safety.
Here's the numbers on this October offense of the Buccaneers. Now, I know when you have a bunch of ones, first, and first, it's points, the important statistic, yards. This team has been explosive, and then yards per play. They've done it in every facet better than anybody in the last 3 games.
And they seek to become the first team in franchise history to score 28 or more in 4 consecutive games. Second down and 8. Freeman dumps it off to Martin. And Martin runs into a couple of stone walls there, led by Michael Huff, the converted safety, now playing corner, and picks up 5.
I think the biggest reason for that success is that they figured out who they were. They had a lot of new players. They had a new coach, new offensive coordinator, and Mike Sullivan, and they focused on what they do well. What they do well, they hand the ball to Doug Martin, run it successfully, then they get it down the field to those big time. I think they've got 2 #1 receivers in Vincent Jackson and Mike Williams.
And this is a big down here for the Raiders, who have allowed the Bucs to march down the field. Penalties a big factor. 3rd down and 3. And here is Freeman's pass, and it's caught. And a first down inside the 20. Mike Williams with his first catch of the game. So the Buccaneers convert a big 3rd down, getting 5 yards. And they're on the 20 now of the Raiders.
And this is a great job by Mike Williams of using that big body, shielding the corner, Pat Lee, and making the catch. Good ball by Josh Freeman. Throws it to that back shoulder where only Williams can catch it. Big 3rd down conversion for the Buccaneers.
Coming in as the second leading receiver behind Jackson. First down on the Oakland 20. Fake a pass, and Martin's going to lose about 2.5. Andre Carter, who was guilty of a roughing the passer penalty to allow the Bucs to get out of trouble, makes a big play here and a loss of 1.
When you look at the loss of Carl Nix, it really, I think, will be felt in this game because you got 2 big men in the middle in Seymour and Tommy Kelly. Carl Nix is a guy that can move people that typically don't get moved. He's done it this year, done it better than anybody in the league in my mind, and he's not there anymore.
Second down and 11. Freeman incomplete to Mike Williams, in good coverage that time by Joselio Hansen, who is the nickelback and the former Eagle, and Andre Carter trying to get to Freeman in the backfield, bringing up 3rd and 11.
Vincent Jackson's been quiet thus far. You look at the weaponry, and that's what I think also has lent to the success of this offense. You've got Vincent Jackson, you've got Mike Williams, you've got Dallas Clark, who's emerging, who's been productive throughout his career, but emerging as well.
And Martin on the sideline right now, and 3 receivers lining up, along with DJ Ware out of the backfield. And here is Freeman, and Freeman will slide and won't get close there. So 4th down coming up, and the Raiders finally clamp down, and Connor Barth will come in to attempt a field goal.
Nice job by the Raiders. Nothing downfield. Vincent Jackson was who Josh Freeman was looking for in the slot. They covered him up, and Josh Freeman takes what they give him, holds on to the ball.
So Connor Barth, who has missed just 2 field goal attempts, will try from 35 yards out. Bucs looking for the lead here with nearly 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Kick is blocked. The Raiders block a kick, and they're running it back out to the 40. Lamar Houston Houston into Buccaneer territory. Houston with the block. And he picked up the ball and ran 33 yards. Big play for the Raider defense. And the crowd loving every minute of it.
Well, it's going to come right up the middle. Lamar Houston busts through on Jeremy Zuta. You see him get through that crack, split the double team, get that left hand up. Great effort by Lamar Houston. Go ahead, block it, then pick it up and take it for some positive yards for the Oakland Raiders.
And John, what a dramatic turn of events here as Houston running it back 34 yards. And now Carson Palmer and the Raiders have a first down on the Bucs 44. Here is McFadden turning the corner, going down the sideline, and McFadden picking up good yardage. Lavonte David making the stop, pushing him out of bounds after McFadden gets 7 yards, coming off his season's high 114 last week against Kansas City.
And he had 75 of those in the fourth quarter, and they felt like that's the Darren McFadden that they know. That's the Darren McFadden I played against when he was one of the best in this league. Coming off an injury last year, his legs are underneath him now. They're learning the plays that he likes, and it's coming on for the Oakland Raiders.
And on the no huddle, the audible here at 2nd down and 3 from the 37. Palmer, and off the hands of McFadden, and time for a game break. Let's join Patrick O'Neill.
All right, Dick, Seahawks making the Vikings pay for a Percy Harvin fumble. The rookie Russell Wilson all day, and he hits Golden Tate 6 yards of the touchdown. Tied at 7. Remember, the Seahawks have the 12th man. They're 3-0 in Seattle. Back to Dick and John.
All right, Patrick, tough place to win out in the Pacific Northwest.
Loudest outdoor stadium I've ever been in. It's quite an environment up there.
3rd down and 3, and Daquan Bowers, and contact at the line. So we've had a flurry of penalties early on. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll result in a first down for the Raiders. It was Gerald McCoy, and the 5-yard penalty will give the Raiders a first down at the 32.
Rod Marinelli, who now is the defensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears, used to say, guys, it's pretty simple. Watch the football. Gerald McCoy knows better than that. Gerald McCoy having an outstanding season, but you got to be disciplined. Neither team has been thus far.
From the 32, inside handoff to McFadden, trying to get away from a defender. Finally, it was Lavonte David who chased him from behind, but McFadden picks up 5 yards, and we have under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
That's the kind of hits Mark Barron, the outstanding rookie safety, puts on people. Watch the finish at the end of this on Darren McFadden. Hits them so hard their helmets stick together. Mark Barron says, you're going to get to know me.
Eric Wright comes out, replaced by the rookie Leonard Johnson at cornerback, number 29, on 2nd down and 5. And here is McFadden. And McFadden, finding running room, has a first down. Getting to the 20. 7 more yards for Darren McFadden, and the Raiders running the ball in Tampa Bay territory.
Look at this zone running scheme. Going to stretch it sideways, put your foot in the ground, and get upfield. Darren McFadden, you've been seeing it coming. His feet, I think he's getting used to that he's healthy. Dennis Allen said about him, sometimes you hear so much that you're injury prone, you start believing it. And Darren McFadden, he thought was early in the year. Now he's letting it go, and his talent's taken over.
They just said, just go out and play. Pass caught by Marcel Reese. And Reese is wrestled down, lost the ball, and it's still Oakland ball as it went out of bounds. Rondé Barber pressing the play, and a 1-yard pickup.
See Rondé Barber with the initial hit, and then it's E.J. Biggers who's going to go after that football and gets it out. The ball goes out of bounds, though. Nice play by E.J. Biggers.
Biggers at cornerback, and Aqib Talib had been in that spot, and this week traded to the New England Patriots. It'll be second down and 11 from the 21. Palmer finds an open Mike Goodson up the middle, and Goodson should have another first down at about the 10-yard line with forward progress. It was Barron, the strong safety, and Foster, the middle linebacker, bringing him down.
Carson Palmer taking what the Buck defense is giving him. If you're going to drop deep, I'll just dump it down to my back, Mike Goodson. Let him do the work. Good tackle by Mark Barron, but it's 10 yards down the field and first down Raiders.
And Goodson, who played for the Panthers last year, goes out, and Darren McFadden, who's gained 19 yards on 3 carries, replaces it. First and goal. Here's McFadden, and he's going to be knocked back and lose a couple. And it's Bowers with a loss of about 2.
Dick, this is a critical area that the Raiders need to improve in. 31st in the league coming in today in red zone efficiency. You got to score points in this league. When you get it down here, you got to cash in, and you'd like to with touchdowns. Most important thing, you get points.
Bowers goes out, and Michael Bennett replaces him. Second down and goal from the 11. No score, a minute remaining in the first quarter. Play action, and Palmer under siege gets rid of it, and it was Leonard Johnson with a corner blitz. The rookie from Iowa State very nearly got to Carson Palmer.
Really nice job of Leonard Johnson coming off the top of your screen. You get flat, but then you got to contain the quarterback. He pulls him up, and Carson Palmer does what he has to do and throws the football away.
Third and goal, the ball at the 11. Raiders trying to capitalize on the blocked field goal attempt. And huge return.
The target down here has been Denarius Moore. 3 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. He's in the slot against Eric Wright.
And Bowers back in defensively. And here's the pass to the end zone. And intended for Rod Streeter. And covered by Leonard Johnson. So fourth down coming up. And now the Raiders will try to take the lead with a field goal.
Really well thrown football by Carson Palmer. But Streeter can't get that ball to come in. He tries to fend off Leonard Johnson with that left arm and tries to make the one-hand catch. Can't make it.
And one of the outstanding kickers, Sebastian Janikowski, who's the AFC Special Teams Player for the month, has made 43 straight field goals, 40 and under. This will be a 27-yard attempt to give the Raiders the lead, and he does. So the blocked field goal on one end, the return, and Janikowski giving the Raiders a 3-0 lead. Downtown Oakland, and Lake Merritt in the background, and right now the Raiders leading 3-0 on a 10-play, 33-yard scoring drive, and Janikowski with the field goal, and Aurelius Ben back deep, and the Bucks will get it out at the 20. So Raiders lead because Lamar Houston blocked this field goal attempt by Connor Barth and ran it 34 yards, and a field goal giving the Raiders the lead. Back here in Oakland, Dick Stockton along with John Lynch. We'll be hearing from Jennifer Hale as Josh Freeman starts this drive from the 20 for the Buccaneers. Here's Doug Martin getting an opening, and Martin with a good gain on first down. Flag is thrown as Martin brings it out after a 7-yard pickup. And that'll nullify it. Eric Lorig, the fullback, holding on the penalty, on the play.
An interesting game within the game, chess match type of situation in this game is the Raiders' defensive ability, as you watch Eric Lorig grab his head at the end, but it's the Raiders' ability to stop the run of the Buccaneers with the 7-man front. They do not want to leave Michael Huff and Pat Lee outside on these receivers one-on-one, so they're leaving it up to Richard Seymour, Des Bryant, Tommy Kelly, and the guys to stop the run of the Bucs.
And the rushing defense has been great the last 3 games. Here's Freeman going for Williams, but throws it over his head out of bounds. And it'll be 2nd down and 20.
And there's exactly what I'm speaking of. You see Pat Lee lined up on Mike Williams, but Pat Lee has helped the entire time. It's Tyvon Branch you're going to see come into the screen. That's what the Raiders want. They don't want Pat Lee one-on-one. These guys are too good at what we call the 50-50 balls. When Freeman throws it up, they win most of the time. It's more like 70-30 in favor of the Buccaneers.
Raider defense trying to keep the Bucs hemmed in for possible good field position when they get it back. 2nd down and 20. And here is Martin. And Martin brings it out to the 15, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. And time runs out. That's the end of the first quarter here in Oakland with the score. Raiders 3 and the Buccaneers nothing. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. Start of the second quarter, and penalties a big part of the first, plus special teams play, particularly by the Raiders, with the blocked field goal attempt. Now it's 3rd down and 15 from the 15. Freeman gets time. Does he have a target? And he does downfield in the pass to Vincent Jackson. Jackson spins off a defender and gets to the 21-yard line. And the Raiders have seen Jackson before, of course, with his days at San Diego.
Well, what this is set up by is tremendous protection, and then they're just going to let Vincent Jackson on a double move beat the safety, Matt Giordano. That's not Michael Huff, it's the safety Giordano, and that's what Vincent Jackson brings to your team, the ability to get the ball downfield. John Freeman does a tremendous job of getting it to him.
And a flag is down, John, after the 65-yard play.
See the protection, DeMar Dodson and Ware, a great job of giving them the time.
83, offense. Your 15-yard penalty and 1st down.
A 64-yard play officially, and unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, was called on the play against Vincent Jackson.
Undisciplined football on both sides.
No question.
These are foolish penalties that are hurting their team. You get a big gain and you take 15 yards every yard.
And they call it taunting. Spike the ball, so the ball now set back to the 36. 1st down. Here is Doug Martin. And Martin battling his way for a gain of about 3.5. As McLean and Burris, 2 linebackers, combined to make the stop after a gain of 3.
You put that last play on Matt Giordano because Vincent Jackson runs through him, but your defensive line's got to get there. You give a quarterback that much time, things like that can happen.
2nd down and 7. And after the big 64-yard play, Buccaneers trying to take advantage in Raider territory. Hand off to Martin, gets some room, and Doug Martin with a 1st down to the 20, showing the tremendous speed as the rookie from Boise State, and picking up 13.
Well, Doug Martin says, I don't need Carl Nix. You see Seymour driving Zutah back, but it doesn't matter. They don't put an edge on the ball, and this kid has tremendous vision. Philip Wheeler gets stuck inside. Doug Martin will make you pay if you aren't on your job because he's got tremendous vision and balance and explosion.
214 total yards last week. Tommy Kelly is the injured Raider, and will take a timeout and return in just a moment. They're working on Tommy Kelly on the sideline. Desmond Bryant replaces him. 1st down for Tampa Bay on the Oakland 20. Make the handoff. Jackson. And Jackson touchdown. Makes the play. Vincent Jackson. 84 yards on 2 catches on this drive, and the Buccaneers take the lead.
And what a beautifully thrown football by Vincent Jackson. Huff tries to bump him at the line of scrimmage. He never catches up. A beautifully thrown ball, and a great job by Jackson getting those 2 feet down, making up for the foolish, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
And of course, we showed the spike as you see the catch again, and spiking is just delay of the game. So there was another area there that we did not see, which was taunting, which was the unsportsmanlike call against Jackson, but more than makes up for it with his 6th touchdown catch of the year. And the Bucs lead 6-3, and Connor Barth on to add the 7th point. And Tampa Bay takes a 7-3 lead. Vincent Jackson with a 64-yard catch, follows it up with a 20-yard touchdown reception. 6 plays, 80 yards. The Bucs are up 7-3. Oakland skyline here as the Buccaneers with a 6-play, 80-yard drive. And talk about the big play aspect of this Tampa Bay offense.
And you look at this ball, you just can't do it any better. Josh Freeman sells the play action, and you just cannot place a football any better. You got the big target in Vincent Jackson at 6'5". That helps, but a great thrown football by Josh Freeman.
6 touchdown catches by Jackson. Mike Goodson will see it sail out of the end zone. And right now, let's go down to the field to the 3rd member of our team, Jennifer Hale.
Well, Dick, the Raiders' Tommy Kelly took a pretty nasty hit to the chest on one of those last plays. He's now on the bench. The trainers are evaluating him. They don't see the need to take him back into the locker room yet, but his return is questionable, Dick.
Thank you, Jennifer. And it was Kelly who was called for the roughing the passer penalty against Freeman. And there he is where he got hurt on this carry by Martin.
Raider on Raider crime there. Matt Giordano hits him in the chest.
First down for the Raiders at the 20. Less than a couple of minutes into this 2nd quarter. Here is McFadden. And it was Levante David who gets ground and a loss on the play. For a game break, let's check in again with Patrick O'Neill.
All right, Dick, thanks a lot. Minnesota, Seattle. What a day for AP Adrian Peterson, the league's leading rusher. 10 carries, 105 yards. That's his 2nd touchdown of the day. It's the Vikings and the Seahawks tied up at 14 in the 2nd. Dick and John.
All right, Patrick, big day so far for Peterson. Meanwhile, Palmer completes the pass to the 26 to Hayward Bay, and he'll be stopped about 3.5 yards from the first down. So after a loss on the running play to McFadden, a 9-yard pass to Bay. And an injured Tampa Bay Buck inside the 15-yard line. And let's see.
I believe that's Michael Bennett.
It is, who was shaken up earlier and came out for a few plays. So Bennett, who happens to be having a career year on the defensive line for Tampa Bay, is hurt. Bennett leading the team with 5 sacks on the sidelines, and Daquan Bowers now in the game.
It hurts, you know, because Daquan Bowers, they want to limit his reps. Remember, he's just coming off injury. You've already lost Adrian Claiborne, your other starting in. It's a big loss if Michael Bennett can't come back.
3rd down and 3 on the Raider 27. Palmer with time, and the pass caught at the 45 by Denarius Moore. Terrific pattern and execution, and a gain of 20 yards and a first down for Oakland near midfield.
Good protection gives a guy like Carson Palmer that can throw the football an opportunity to get the ball downfield to Denarius Moore. Denarius Moore with speed runs a tremendous route, not afraid to go inside on the fire.
McFadden for 1.
You know, when I look at Carson Palmer, Dick, there's long been held by many people in this league, including myself. He hasn't been the same guy since that injury he took way back in 2005 against the Steelers. As I watched film for this game, he's starting to show signs of that guy that we all knew who was in that elite conversation.
And he likes this offense.
He does.
2nd down and 10. Palmer will dump it off to McFadden, and E.J. Biggers was right there.
As for the Bucs plan for Carson Palmer, Greg Schiano talked about we got to get early coverage. If we can get early coverage, we get him off his spot. That's when he will force some turnovers, force some balls. We feel like we can get the ball out on fumbles.
Those are Palmer's numbers in his first 16 starts with the Raiders. McFadden comes out. He's carried the ball 6 times and has been used as a receiver twice. Mike Goodson is in at running back on 3rd and 11. 3 receivers, and Carson Palmer goes down inside the 40, and that is the first sack of the game for Tampa Bay, and it's a combination of McCoy and Bowers.
That's a nice sign for Buccaneer fans. Daquan Bowers, remember at one point this was going to be the #1 pick in last year's draft. Hurts his Achilles this offseason, making a miraculous comeback, back and playing. Shows up on the field for the Bucs.
And remember Adrian Claiborne, and we're going to have a roughing or running into the kicker penalty. And calling for the fair catch is Parrish. And Adam Hayward running in to the
Personal
punter,
foul.
Shane Leckler.
Roughing the kicker.
And it's roughing the kicker.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And an automatic first down for the Raiders.
And a good call by Walt Anderson. That's one of the things the Buccaneers believe in. They come after the opposing punters on kicks. Adam Hayward, one of the best special teams players in this league, makes a critical mistake, and it will give the Raiders the football back.
6th penalty against the Buccaneers. And special teams plays have figured large so far with the blocked field goal attempt, leading to the field goal for the Raiders, and now roughing the kicker, giving the Raiders the ball in Tampa Bay territory at the 47.
They got to get Darren McFadden going again. They had him going early. The Buccaneers have made a nice adjustment, attacking more downhill. They just got to get him a seam, because they get him into the 2nd level. He can hit the home run on any given play.
First down, and here is McFadden. No gain on the play. So where has the discipline been in this game for both sides?
Not a whole lot of it. It's been a sloppy game. And penalties, you know, sometimes there's penalties in the game that don't really hurt their team. They've really hurt their team in this game.
Goodson will replace McFadden, who has gained 17 yards on 7 carries. Average of less than 2.5. Palmer under pressure goes down, lets it go, and it's caught by Derek Hagan for the touchdown. And a flag is down. Another penalty marker down, and this one looks like it may go against the Raiders.
Holding.
That would nullify a 47-yard touchdown pass.
Still 2nd down.
We're going to get the hold on Willie Smith, the right tackle right there. And Carson Palmer just makes a tremendous throw, but it's all for naught on the hold by Willie Smith. Again, the lack of discipline hurting both teams. Can't do it.
Corey Irvin was the player doing the holding, so instead of the 47-yard touchdown, 2nd down and 20. And here is Goodson on the receiving end, and brought down Rondé Barber right in the middle of all of that.
It was Willie Smith with the hold. It was Corey Irvin that was rushing against him for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Rondé Barber all over the field once again. It's interesting, we talked to Carson Palmer, and he said, John Dickey, you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got Gerald McCoy, they've got Mark Barron, 3rd and 7th picks in the draft, but the best player on this defense is the guy in his 16th year, Rondé Barber. And I agree with him.
It's amazing what he has done. Moving to safety from cornerback, playing at the highest level still. 3rd down and 13, and the pass incomplete, intended for Brandon Myers, the tight end downfield. So 4th down coming up, and Shane Leckler will come in to punt for the Raiders. So the holding penalty against Willie Smith, preventing the touchdown, and the Raiders missing out on a score, and Roscoe Parrish will go back deep as Leckler kicks. And they're going to fake, and the pass is caught. And the ball knocked loose. And they are shy of the first down by a big margin there. Taiwan Jones on the receiving end of that catch on 4th down. So a little gimmickry here by the Oakland Raiders. The holding penalty negating a big touchdown attempt by the Raiders, and it remains 7-3 Bucks. Back here in Oakland, and after the fake punt and completion, good field possession, LeGarrette Blount is in the game for the first time at running back. 1st and 10 for the Bucks on their 46. And play action for Freeman. Stepping up, can't find a receiver, and he will run for the first down as he gets into Oakland territory. Good block by Jeremy Zuta, picking up 11 yards.
Go back to the fake punt, and look at where Rondé Barber comes to make this play. E.J. Biggers coming off the corner. That leaves the receiver wide open. Barber comes from all the way over the center to slow down Taiwan Jones. Great play by Rondé Barber. He not only does it as a cornerback, as a safety, he does it on special teams in his 16th year.
First down at the 43 of the Raiders. Here's LeGarrette Blount, who is the power end of the 1-2 running attack with Martin. McLean making the tackle after a gain of 3. And you wonder about that fake punt when you needed 13 yards, giving the Bucks good field position here, and now they're in Oakland territory, John.
Well, teams, when they put those out there, they typically have seen something they feel very confident in, but it was just an outstanding individual effort by Rondé Barber. Sometimes you have to take into account you've got a Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame player on the other side, and they clearly didn't.
2nd down and 7 on the Raider 40. And the pass caught by Luke Stocker, and he picks up a few. It's game break time, and let's check in again with Patrick O'Neill.
Big Steelers at the Giants. Ben Roethlisberger, 4 yards, back of the end zone. Emmanuel Sanders, both feet in. That 11-play drive coming off an Eli Manning interception. Steelers had to fly in this morning due to the devastation of Superstorm Sandy. They have a 7-0 lead. Nick and John.
Would you have liked to have flown in the day of the game?
We used to do it in preseason under Tony Dungy. He tried to put us in an adverse situation. Tough to do. The Steelers seem to be reacting fine.
3rd down and 5. Freeman under a press and gets rid of it. He had pressure coming from behind. And so 4th down coming up. And Michael Kanan will come in to kick the ball away with 5:43 remaining in the half. And the Buccaneers leading by 7-3.
Pressure came from Andre Carter, a guy that they signed early this season after being waived by New England last year. They signed him in September. He hasn't produced a whole bunch, but he's producing out here today.
Kanan will kick from about midfield, and Phillip Adams, who played for the Seahawks last year. And Kanan trying to keep it in the field of play, and it is touched and kept in by the Bucks, and they'll down it at around the 5-yard line. Aurelius Ben was the first to touch it to keep it in play. So there's Ben, and the rest of the special teams group took over, pinning back the Raiders. Fox Sports is your home for the UFC beginning on Friday with a new episode of The Ultimate Fighter on FX. Saturday, it's UFC on Fuel TV 6 live from Macau, China. And then on Saturday, December 8th, the UFC returns to broadcast television with the UFC on Fox 5. 1st and 10 from the end zone. Carson Palmer has a completed pass to Darius Hayward-Bay, and a 1st down out to the 20. By the way, Benson Henderson will put his lightweight championship on the line against Nate Diaz. So Fox Sports is the place to turn to for hard-hitting UFC action all season long. And a 14-yard gain gets the Raiders out of trouble.
I think Hayward Bay is a perfect example of what Dennis Allen has brought to this team, along with Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator. Before this year, he was pure speed. That's all he was known for. Now he's running good routes. He's being physical.
And here is Goodson, and he'll be hit from behind by Mark Barron, rookie from Alabama, and maybe no gain on the play. What a comeback for Barron's Alabama Crimson Tide, coming back and beating LSU in the late stages last night.
And Mark Barron and Rondé Barber, what an interesting relationship they have. Greg Schiano says it's Rondé Barber, ton of experience in the league, none at safety until this year. Mark Barron, no experience in the league, but a ton at safety. And so they've complemented and helped each other through this process.
But Barron's a lucky guy, to say the least. Carson Palmer goes down, and it's Michael Bennett who has returned to the lineup after being shaken up, and his 6th sack of the season and a loss of 7 yards.
Well, he's been nicked a couple times today, but you're going to see him working against Willie Smith up top. And this guy is having an outstanding season, playing at a Pro Bowl level, his 6th sack of the year, but he's making contributions in the run game, the pass game. He's been all over the field for the Buccaneers.
And that'll bring up 3rd down and 17. Raiders are 1 for 6 in 3rd down conversions. And John talked about the negative plays that the Buccaneer defense always seems to come up with. Here's the pass out to Myers, and Myers is tackled at the 20, the original line of scrimmage, by Eric Wright. So Eric Wright playing despite an Achilles injury and a possible suspension. Same one experienced by Aqib Talib. And of course, Talib, as you know, traded to the Patriots for a 4th round pick. So Parrish is back and Leckler will kick.
And I don't think they'll fake this one.
I wondered why they faked the last one, even though it did not come back to bite the Raiders. Lower kick and returnable for Parrish at the 25. Parrish running room and gets it out to the 46-yard line. Tampa Bay ball when we return to Oakland. In the aftermath of natural disasters like Superstorm Sandy, the American Red Cross provides life-saving services such as meals, shelter, and mobilizing resources in workers nationwide. Visit redcross.org or text Red Cross to 90999 to give a $10 donation.
Thoughts and prayers certainly go out to the people on the East Coast affected by the storm.
First down at the 46. Doug Martin's going to lose some yardage. Martin, who has averaged nearly 5.5 yards per carry, is tackled by Matt Shaughnessy, and there'll be a loss on the play of 7.
Watch Shaughnessy right here get off the ball, get in the backfield, penetrate. Jeremy Zutoff filling in for Carl Nix. That's what penetration and push from the defensive line does. That looks like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers D-line, what they've done so well with all the negative plays.
John, you talked about the front 4, how big and powerful they are. Shaughnessy with 2.5 sacks. We saw what he could do against the run as well.
This is a 2-minute warning.
And winding down to the 2-minute warning here in Oakland. It'll be 2nd and 17 when we resume. 2 minutes to go in the half. 7-3 Bucks. Josh Freeman, after a slow start, has exploded the last 16 quarters. 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. Reminiscent of his play in the 2nd year of his career. 2nd down and 17. The 2-minute warning. Ball at the 39 of the Bucks. And the receiver fell down, but the pass was thrown closer to Dallas Clark. Tyquan Underwood was the receiver who slipped, and Miles Burris putting the pressure on Freeman. 3rd down and 17. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. Raiders looking for the stop to get the ball back. With time on the clock and timeouts. Fake the handoff to Martin. And Freeman fires it away. And this time it was Richard Seymour who came storming in on Josh Freeman, bringing up 4th down in a punting situation.
Good pressure by Richard Seymour in this front 4 of the Oakland Raiders. You see Donald Penn just get bull rushed back by Shaughnessy. That opens up the door for Seymour playing off Shaughnessy. And a nice, smart play by Freeman, just throwing the football away and letting him punt it with Michael Kanan.
Phillip Adams is back deep for the Raiders, and Michael Kanan will kick it away. And this kick will go out of bounds around the 20. Well, Darren McFadden was not in the backfield in the last series. And might have an injury issue here. And right now, let's send it down for more from Jennifer Hale.
Dick, possibly a big blow for this Raiders rushing game. Darren McFadden is now in the Black and Silver's locker room getting x-rays on that lower right leg, and his return is doubtful for this game. Dick?
Big blow, John, if they lose McFadden.
I think it was reported to Jennifer as lower right leg. It looked like the left ankle right there of Darren McFadden on that replay. E.J. Biggers tries to tackle him at the legs, and looks like that left ankle twisted.
So Goodson remains in the backfield, and on 1st down, this pass, and what a catch made by Hayward Bay! One-handed catch, and a flag is down at the 39 of Tampa Bay. As Hayward Bay with a circus catch gets 46 yards and the flag.
When we talk about the better routes, nothing like pure speed.
Number 31.
And what a catch. We talked about Hayward Bay, who struggled early in his career to catch the football. His hands have improved mightily. But again, that's pure speed and tremendous concentration. And what a throw by Carson Palmer. We told you about explosive plays in the Simplify the Game segment. Both teams now starting to be explosive on offense.
And that's what they both want. So Hayward Bay with a 46-yard reception. And they tack on a penalty after that and a 1st down at the 25 of Tampa Bay. Here's Palmer, and this time going to Streeter. And Streeter becomes a defender against Leonard Johnson, the cornerback who had the beat on the ball there. And it's 2nd down and 10 with 1:29 on the clock.
This is great coverage by Leonard Johnson. Bump and run, gets his hands on him, and then goes and plays the football. Leonard Johnson had to play last week because of injuries in the secondary. He stepped up to the challenge, intercepted one, made many great plays for the Buccaneers. They got a lot of confidence in the rookie out of Iowa State.
2nd down and 10. Slant play in the air and incomplete. Streeter was the intended target for Carson Palmer, and that will bring up 3rd down and 10 from the 25 of the Bucs. Now, when we talk about explosive plays, the definition is no real NFL, gauge on that.
Well, each team has a different explanation. Dennis Allen will tell you it's a 12-plus yard run and a 16-plus yard pass. For the Greg Schiano and the Bucs, it's 15 and 25. 15 on the run, 25 on the pass. Those are their definitions.
It's a lot of yards on both sides. 3rd and 10. And this pass caught by Rod Streeter. Touchdown. What a play and what a series for the Raiders receivers.
I tell you, by either team's definition, that's explosive. And another beautiful ball by Carson Palmer. You see Streeter, the undrafted free agent, working against Biggers. He pins him with that body position and then brings the ball in. Just a perfectly thrown football. Both quarterbacks putting on the money on these deep balls.
So Streeter with a 25-yard touchdown catch after Hayward Bay made a one-handed play for 46 yards. And talk about getting down the field in a hurry. Carson Palmer giving the Raiders the lead, and Sebastian Janikowski makes it 10-7. Oakland scored first. Tampa Bay came back with a touchdown, and now the Raiders regain the lead with 1:20 remaining in the half. And a drive that ensued only 22 seconds.
I tell you what, there's so many people that I see around in Denver where I live or in airports who say, I'm tired of this dink and dunk football. Well, then tune into this game because there's no dink and dunk. These guys are throwing it downfield. It's what both teams believe in. Long been a staple of the Raiders offense. But Carson Palmer does it great right there to Rod Streeter.
Second touchdown catch of the year for Streeter, the rookie from Temple. Undrafted, but has fully set himself as clearly the number 3 receiver.
Dennis Allen pointed to the scouting of Reggie McKenzie, the new GM, who came from Green Bay, and he said, look at all the receivers that they've found that weren't first rounders. Randall Cobb being one in the last couple years, and they went and found a guy like Rod Streeter, undrafted free agent. He's making plays for this team.
Janikowski will kick it off to Aurelius Ben, and it's always Halloween. May have been last week, but Halloween always lives here in Oakland. And Ben will run it out about 5 yards in the end zone, and Aurelius Ben is tackled at the 22. And the Visa halftime report will be coming up shortly, and let's check in right now with Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we'll get you caught up on a busy Week 9 in the NFL, including another big day for the Chicago defense, a record-setting day for Andrew Luck, and the Packers' winning streak continues. So join Terry, Howie, Jimmy, and me on the Visa halftime. They'll be here, don't worry.
Lonely on the set, but they'll be there, as Kurt promises. I'm sure he'll deliver, John.
Yes, he will. As the pregame show delivered. They had a great feature on the Chicago defense, and the Chicago defense showed up today once again.
1:14 remaining in the half, and the Buccaneers have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, as do the Raiders for that matter. Freeman completes the pass to Doug Martin and gets about 7.5 yards. 1 minute.
You see the multi-dimension aspect that Doug Martin brings to this offense. Tremendous runner, tremendous receiver. Huge acquisition for this team when they drafted him in the first round.
And losing the ball, Freeman recovers. And does he ever, as he finds Dallas Clark. And a first down at the 38. And right now the Buccaneers will call their first timeout.
Tampa Bay, 30-second timeout.
Well, the Packers have won 5 of their last 6. And the Denver Broncos on a roll. And, of course, coming into this game, the Raiders were 1 game behind the Broncos in the AFC West. And how about the Bears? They're on a tear.
We went to Chicago about 5-6 weeks ago. They played St. Louis Rams, and ever since then, they've been on fire.
Meanwhile, the Bears scoring 50 points in a game for the first time since 1980. This has been a team that his foundation has been defense. They got it both done today. 44 seconds remaining in the half. First down on the 39 of the Bucs. They have 2 timeouts left. Freeman will dump it off to Doug Martin. Martin still on his feet and reverses and gets tackled, giving ground, and ends up with a 1-yard gain on the play.
This is the second charge timeout.
And now the Buccaneers call a timeout. And there is Connor Barth, just in case he has an opportunity for a field goal. Well, Fox tonight, the most animated night on TV, returns. Don't miss Animation Domination with all new episodes of your favorite comedies: The Cleveland Show, The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, and American Dad. All new episodes of Animation Domination are back, all starting tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central on Fox. How about this, John? The Raiders, for the 8th straight game, have scored in the last 2 minutes of the half.
You know, and that's what good football teams do. Long heard the Atlanta Falcons and Mike Smith talk about that. Good teams do it. It gives you momentum or it gets you back in games.
One of the things Atlanta prides itself on. Second down and 9. One timeout left for Tampa Bay. Pressure put on Freeman. He dumps it off, but the pass thrown behind Martin. So the pressure paying off and the little uniform adjustment there as Rosilio Hansen with a blitz from the cornerback spot.
Rosilio Hansen, you're going to see him enter the top of the screen coming from the slot. And Josh Freeman smartly gets rid of the football. Richard Seymour almost gets one there.
Remember, the Buccaneers have never beaten the Raiders here in Oakland. 0-5. And the Raiders leading 10-7. It'll be third down and 9. 29 seconds left. Freeman finds Williams, and Williams gets inside the 40, and a first down in Oakland territory, picking up 22 yards, and the Buccaneers have to call their third and final timeout.
And Dick, we talked about the loss of Carl Nix. They're all pro guard in the open. This offensive line's done a nice job. Credit Ted Larson, who's starting at center, Jeremy Zuttah, who moved over. They're doing a nice job as an offensive line, and when you do that, Josh Freeman's got those kind of weapons, including Mike Williams, Vincent Jackson, Dallas Clark, Doug Martin, a lot of weapons at his disposal.
Right now, it would be a 56-yard field goal for Connor Barth. His longest this year was 52. His career long is 57. .21 seconds remaining in the half, and the Bucs are out of timeouts. First down on the 38 of Oakland. Throwing it, and incomplete, and Pat Lee trying to get both feet in, and looked like Freeman was trying to throw the ball away.
That was a careless throw, really was. Pat Lee should have got both feet in here. Gets that left foot down, but that's just a careless throw by Josh Freeman. You're going to throw it away or take the sack. Doesn't even get 1 foot in. Wouldn't have been good in college.
Second and 10. But the big factor here is the clock. 16 seconds remaining in the half. No timeouts for the Buccaneers. And now the Raiders call a timeout.
30-second timeout.
That's their first. Well, we mentioned that the Bucs have not won here, but they certainly have beaten the Raiders. And you were a proud member of that Super Bowl 37 victory back in January of 2003 in a resounding 48-21 victory. And you know what? To win a Super Bowl in your hometown and have Jake, your son, with you, doesn't get better than that.
No, it doesn't. I tell you what, I only wear this ring when I broadcast, but you know, where we came from as the Bucs, we were referred to as the Yucks when I was drafted in the early 90s. And, you know, I know it came at the expense of the Oakland Raiders, and I hear about it every time I'm at this stadium. But what a tremendous memory. And in 2 weeks, we're going to have our 10-year anniversary for that. So it'll be a lot of fun.
You know, they call this a rematch. It's hardly a rematch. That was the Super Bowl. This is a regular season game, and just a couple of people remain from it. Second and 10 with 16 seconds to go. And no timeouts. And the handoff flag is down. False start. Well, that's the last thing the Buccaneers need if they want to try a long field goal attempt, is to lose 5 more.
Snap infraction, number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Ted Larson, who is playing center, as John mentioned, with Jeremy Zuttah moving to left guard without Nix in the lineup.
You see Ted Larson, the new starter at center, with the snap infraction. Simulates the snap, pushes him back 5 yards.
2 first-year head coaches, Greg Schiano and Dennis Allen, battling here in Oakland. So now 2nd and 15. Back at the 43. Swinging out to Martin. And Martin going out of bounds and stopping the clock with 11 seconds remaining. The ball is at the 35. So it would be a 52-yard try now, and Connor Barth is going to come onto the field. His longest this year has been 52 yards.
Well, they sent him on. Now they're going to send him right back off.
They have 11 seconds remaining. And now the Raiders will call a timeout.
This will be second charge timeout.
That's their
Oakland,
second timeout when left for them.
A lot going on here. We got timeouts, we got kickers on, kickers off.
Want to remind you the Visa halftime report with the gang. We'll have scores and highlights coming up. The Bears defense does it again, and how about 51 points on offense? And Andrew Luck with a big game in Indy. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. You know, Barth came on and then came off. Remember, the field goal try was blocked, which set up the first points of the game for the Raiders.
Well, you know now with no timeouts, the Bucs cannot go to the middle of the field. They might be looking to take a shot at the end zone. If it's not there, you tell Freeman to get rid of the football. They bring Barth back on. And if you're the Raiders, you got to defend the sideline because you keep it in bounds. They can't get the kickoff.
So it's 3rd and 8. Time of factor. Freeman's going to go in the end zone and thrown out of the end zone with 3 seconds on the clock. And Connor Barth will come on now to try the long field goal in an attempt to tie the game. This will be, it's like a 54-yard attempt.
I like that aggressiveness, Snow. You've got the time. You've got a big 6'5" receiver like Vincent Jackson. Give him a chance. Unfortunately for the Bucs, Josh Freeman threw it out of the end zone.
Looking to tie the score at halftime is Connor Barth. And this kick is no good, off to the left. And that'll do it. The Raiders take a 10-7 lead at the half over the Bucs. And we now go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for the Visa halftime, which starts now. We go back to Oakland, where the Raiders will take a 10-7 lead over the Bucs into the third quarter. Want to remind you, as we look at halftime stats, the explosive play is a big part of this game for the Raiders, although Tampa Bay has outgained them in both rushing and passing. And you wonder with the big plays we've seen so far in the game whether we're in for more of that type.
Well, I think that's what these teams are. That's what they thrive on. Both coaches talked about it. We got to get them on offense. We got to limit them on defense. They haven't done so well on defense. They've both been explosive offensively. They are not dink and dunk down the field offense. They're home run hitting offenses. Now the third down, I think that becomes key because neither team's been good on third down offense.
And of course you wonder about Darren McFadden, as we tell you to follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. See what the situation is with McFadden. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay, which won the toss and deferred, will get the ball first. They're the two quarterbacks getting set to go to work, and it'll be Freeman first. Aurelius Ben. And he will down it in the end zone. And the Bucs will start from the 20 in this three-point game. And right now, let's check in with Jennifer Hale.
Well, Dick, I spoke with Coach Dennis Allen about the explosive plays. He's happy with what he's seen on offense, but not happy with what his defense has given up. We also talked about Darren McFadden, and regardless of his return, Coach says the silver and black will stick indeed with their run game. Greg Schiano over on the other side, not happy with the penalties his team is getting either. He says this whole game his team has just been a half step behind the Raiders, and he's told them they need to calm down and settle in. Dick?
Good advice, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Although the Raiders only have 17 yards rushing in the game. The Bucs from the 20.
False start, number 41, offense.
And a penalty called against Tampa Bay. We have an update on Darren McFadden. The X-rays were taken on his leg. They are negative, but he will not return to the game. So McFadden, who gained 17 yards on 7 carries and caught a couple of passes, out for the rest of the game. So that'll mean more work for the likes of Mike Goodson and maybe Taiwan Jones as well. Penalties also a big part of this story. Tampa Bay doubled up Oakland. 1st and 15. Freeman slipped for a moment, off balance, and Dallas Clark. Does he hold on to it and have control? And he does. Good play by Clark. And a gain of 12 yards with Wheeler defending.
Remember, the left guard, Carl Nix, is out, so what are they going to do? Run a little cross dog, try to bring pressure right where he isn't. This offensive line, along with Eric Lord, continues to do a nice job of protection. They're standing up well, and Dallas Clark goes and plucks that football and holds on to it. Takes great strength from Clark.
2nd down and 3, and Doug Martin 1st down and nearly broke another tackle as he carries it out to the 36, picking up 9 more yards. Lamar Houston, who blocked a kick, made the tackle here.
And look at this balance. I mean, I think that's the one thing you see with him. He's only 5'9", but people just bounce off him. He's strong. And we talked about that balance with him. We said anything that you attribute that to. He said a lot of work in the weight room, and then, you know, by the way, I was a break dancer as a kid. I think that break dancing helps that balance.
Boy, and he can never do that. 1st down at the 36 of Tampa Bay. They go again to Martin, and Martin dives forward and gets about nearly 8 yards. And we'll call it closer to 7, and he's averaged nearly 5 yards a carry. Those are Freeman's numbers. And Martin and Jackson, who has 2 catches, including the touchdown reception.
This is impressive, and remember, the more success they have doing this, Oakland now might have to dedicate a safety to help on that run defense. That leaves Jackson and Williams one-on-one outside.
2nd down and 4. And Freeman is going to go deep for Williams. And the pass is incomplete. Double coverage downfield. Tyvon Branch had the ball bounce off his helmet, and Pat Lee was down there as well.
That's just what they do. They get the one-on-one coverage. That's Tyvon Branch coming from the middle of the field. Tremendous range. But Josh Freeman, when he sees one safety get involved in the run, leaving receivers outside one-on-one, he's going to take that shot every time because he trusts his receivers to make those plays.
You made a good point. You better tune into this game if you want to see big, long passing attempts, because we've had them on both sides. Now it's 3rd and 4.
They both believe if you're going to throw it, go ahead and get your money's worth.
Freeman being rushed. And a great catch made by DJ Ware, and he gets the 1st down and is pushed out of bounds. So DJ Ware, who played for the Giants last year, an 11-yard gain, and he made a terrific catch on this play.
The subtleties of quarterback play. You get inside pressure from Wheeler, extend the play. Move out, drift out to your right, give yourself a chance for your running back to get out. Josh Freeman does it, and does it well.
Catch was good, not great. So I'm going to lower my my number on that one, but it's a 1st down at the 45 of Oakland. Martin back in as Ware goes out. Here's Martin, straight ahead. Doug Martin. And Doug Martin is going to score in his hometown. Here's a little breakdancing there. 45-yard run by Doug Martin, coming back home on a spectacular run up the middle and then out racing the secondary.
And watch the burst. First of all, the vision, then he hides back there. Remember, he's only 5'9", and then once he gets out there, pure speed, outrunning Tyvon Branch, who can get it himself. That's outstanding running. We saw him bust out versus Minnesota last week. His head coach challenged him, can you do it consistently, particularly at your hometown? And the answer is yes thus far.
And Connor Barth in this seesaw game looking for the 14th point, and now the Buccaneers regain the lead 14-10, and that was the longest run from scrimmage this year for the Buccaneers. 45 yards, and Martin with the touchdown, his 4th this year. So a spectacular run by Doug Martin, 45 yards, capping a very impressive Tampa Bay drive to start this third quarter. Now you know why they deferred, I guess, and 92 yards in the game for Martin and 113 total yards. He had 214 last week.
And really credit this offensive line. Without Carl Nix, they're standing up.
Mike Goodson will see it sail out of the end zone, and for more on Doug Martin coming home today, here's Jennifer Hale.
Well, Dick, Doug Martin's nickname in college was the muscle hamster. He hates it, but it's stuck. His teammates at Boise State coined the phrase because he could outlift several linemen. Back then, tell you what, he was squatting 550, benching 410. He tells me he has let off the gas a little now, Dick.
And he can outdance the linemen as well, Jennifer, and break dancing, and he can do all of that. And he gives the Buccaneers the lead by 4, still early in this third quarter. 1st and 10. And here is Goodson, who was forced in there with Darren McFadden out for the rest of the game, as again, x-rays on his injured leg negative. And a 1-yard pickup, Daniel Teo Nesheim making the stop on Goodson.
And this Buccaneer defense has really done a nice job of adjusting. Early on, McFadden had some success running the football. When McFadden was in there, they buckled up, they tightened up their run fits, and they're playing outstanding run defense right now.
2nd down and 10 at the 20. And the pass over the head, incomplete, intended for Myers, the tight end. So the offensive leaders for the Raiders, and of course McFadden out for the rest of the game. Palmer's numbers, and Darius Hayward-Bay with a one-handed spectacular 46-yard catch in the first half.
The Raiders only 2 of 8, 25% on 3rd down today, and it's tough to convert when you're in these 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 situations.
Third and 10, short drop, and the pass out to Goodson, or Richard Gordon, the tight end. And Gordon makes the catch, but he'll be short of the first down by a couple of yards. So credit Rondé Barber and E.J. Biggers from the Bucs secondary for preventing first down in a punting situation.
And that's good defense. We're going to give the ball. Go ahead, take the throw in front of us, but we're going to attack you before you get to that line to gain. Rondé Barber does it again with the help of E.J. Biggers.
So Shane Leckler will be kicking from inside his 20. Roscoe Parrish. Leckler with another beauty. Backing up is Parrish inside the 15. Here's Parrish cutting upfield, directing traffic, and Roscoe Parrish with the best punt return of the year for the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers vaunted offense, averaging 34 in the last 3. They have 14, but they're in front. Different story today. The Raiders allowing only 67 yards rushing in the last 3. Different today as Doug Martin carries out to the 45 and a gain of 5. So 128 rushing yards today by the Bucs against the Raiders, and we have a lot of time remaining still in the third.
And Dennis Allen will tell you the run defense, and they had been very good, as you just said, Dick, is all about accountability. It's about being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. It's also about tackling, and they aren't doing that right now. Doug Martin's a big reason why.
And he's going right up the middle, right up the gut on this.
Right at their strength.
2nd down and 5. They fake to Martin. And there's Freeman down the sideline, and Williams The intended receiver covered by Michael Huff, incomplete. So Freeman picking his spots to take shots in this game.
Talk about the last drive. We talk about explosive plays coming through the air. Doug Martin, he make it happen on the ground. Right up the gut, as you said, Dick, having success. And here's the bust out run. Doug Martin getting going. This kid is really announcing himself to this league as a force to be reckoned with.
His father played basketball at Compton. He says, I remember the nickname, the Poets. He was a basketball player. And that's how Doug Martin started as well. 3rd down and 5, but this is a passing situation perhaps, and a flag down.
Before the snap, this is the first charged timeout, Tampa Bay.
So timeout is called, and it had to be called by Schiano on the sideline.
Look at this speed by Greg Schiano right about there. I think he's running a 4.3.
Good combine.
Critical 3rd down in this game. You got the feeling that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are starting to assert their will. Can the Oakland Raiders stand up right now?
3rd and 5. And Freeman's pass is caught by Williams. Mike Williams in the open field. Still going at the 22. And finally goes out of bounds. So the critical play, as you mentioned, and the Buccaneers get 37 yards.
You see Michael Huff, traditionally a safety, playing at corner out of necessity. Josh Freeman likes that matchup, and he goes after it. Mike Williams catches the football, then makes it explosive with the yards after the catch. This Buccaneer offense tough to deal with.
And the second longest pass play of the day for the Bucs. They have a 1st down on the Raider 18. Williams now with 3 catches for 64 yards. And Doug Martin hit at the line and gets a few extra yards as he works his way to the 13, picking up 4.
Dick, you made a great point just a second ago. The strength of this defense is the 2 guys in the interior. Everybody knows it. Tommy Kelly, Richard Seymour. The Bucs lose their best player on the offensive line, maybe on the offense, and Carl Nixon. Where do they go? They go right at the Oakland Raiders' strength, and they're moving people. They are hammering people up front. Kudos to these guys filling in for Carl Nix.
Zuta, Larson, Meredith, and again here is Martin, and Martin working his way to the 10, where McLean, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle. And a gain of 3, so it'll be 3rd down and short for the Bucs, leading 14-10, about halfway through this 3rd quarter. And Martin over 100 yards now, 105 yards, and has averaged 7.5 on the day, including the 45-yard TD burst.
I believe in situations like that, the head coach kind of sets the tone. And he admitted, we're losing a great player, but we're going to be just fine. And that's the way his team felt as well, and they're showing it.
And a timeout called by Greg Schiano. So a lot of coaches will save it to the end, but Schiano has used 2
Tampa Bay
here in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back. Always great to see a smile on the face of Rondé Barber, which he had moments ago. He likes the way these things are going. Right now, the offense has it. It'll be 3rd down and 3 on the 11 after the 2nd timeout by the Buccaneers. Freeman and the whistle. And before the play, the whistle blew. Flag is down, meanwhile, at the 10.
Neutral zone infraction, number 99, defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So Lamar Houston with an offside infraction, giving the Buccaneers an automatic 1st down.
You see Lamar Houston right here. Josh Freeman going to go with the hard count, and Houston jumps. That gets DeMar Dotson to jump, but it may have been a good thing for the Raiders, because I think that was touchdown Buccaneers to Mike Williams as he brought down the ball.
So the costly penalty on the play, and it's 1st and goal at the 6. Here is Martin. And Martin is stopped after a gain of 1. 2nd and goal.
You know, the comparison has been made with Doug Martin to Ray Rice in Baltimore, and Ray Rice, a tremendous player, so a lot to put on a young man, but the more you watch him, the more you start to say, yeah, you know what, they're right. And the first one to make that comparison was his own head coach, Greg Schiano. He coached Ray Rice at Rutgers, so he would know.
Martin came in third in average yards per scrimmage behind Peterson and Rice. Now it's second and goal from the 4, and play action. And Freeman's pass into the end zone. Williams, touchdown! Mike Williams with a touchdown, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have opened it up somewhat with 7:12 remaining in the third.
What happens when you run the football effectively? The play action starts working. You draw the one-on-ones outside. Let me tell you something, you cannot locate a football any better than Josh Freeman does on this ball. Only where Mike Williams can catch it. That is tremendous accuracy, tremendous play action fake by Josh Freeman. He's playing the quarterback position well.
And when you have the running game like that, the play action is just going to fall into place. 4-yard pass to Williams as Connor Barth is on for the extra point try. And it's 21-10 Tampa Bay. So Jackson and Williams, the two outstanding receivers, each with a touchdown catch today. And on the year, they have 11 between them.
The whole deal. I mean, look at the hard sell. That looks like a Peyton Manning type play action. Even sells a little further by ducking to hide himself, hide the ball, stands tall in the pocket. Perfect mechanics throwing the football, and as I mentioned before, you can't locate it any better. And Mike Williams plucks it. It's good all around, and that's why they're the top offense in football over the last 4 games.
And Freeman now with 12 touchdown passes, only 1 interception since the second half against the Redskins. And there is Greg Schiano congratulating the troops. He says, look, I'm hard on them during the week. I'm really tough. But, you know, now you have to face the opponent on Sunday, and so I just lay off on Sunday.
He might be the MVP of that series, sprinting to get that timeout, remember? But we go back to that third down, and you had the feeling that the Bucs were starting to really assert themselves and take over this game. They converted it with the Mike Williams catch and run, turns into a touchdown.
And Freeman definitely taking control of the position of quarterback, which is what Greg Schiano told us in our meeting with him yesterday. And you were so right about that critical 3rd and 3 play, and the Bucs converted and then scored the touchdown through Mike Goodson's hands, and the Raiders will start out at the 20. Well, call Star NFL to download NFL Mobile now and get coverage of every NFL game.
This is where it gets dangerous for Carson Palmer, because you've lost your starting running back. You shouldn't abandon your game plan, but your game plan somewhat goes out the door when you don't have your starting running back, your studded running back in Darren McFadden. And this is where the Bucs thrive. When they know you're going to throw, they start creating turnovers.
McFadden had a leg injury, had x-rays, they were negative, but won't be back. Play action for Palmer, and he'll go to Marcel Reese. And Reese, the fullback, tackled by Levante David after picking up 6.5 yards that last scoring drive. 60 yards in 7 plays.
Levante David, what a young find they found in Levante David in the 2nd round of this year's draft. He's a guy, talked to Brian Cox, the front 7 coach down on the field. He said, John, he sees it and he knows how to finish. Testament to him and how they believe in him. He's got the communicating. He calls the signals in the huddle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a rookie.
2nd down and 3, and Palmer will swing it out to Mike Goodson, and Goodson's second effort may get him a 1st down. Talking about getting the linebacker here, and a big pickup it was in Levante David. Now we know that Aqib Talib was traded to the Patriots for a 4th round pick. Well, the Buccaneers traded up on a 4th round pick to get Doug Martin, and they also traded up to get that linebacker Levante David. So a number 4 is a valuable number for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And there's another first-round pick. And, of course, that was the trade-up, among others, the 4, and they eventually got Martin. First down. And off the hands of Denarius Moore, incomplete.
You know, there's critical junctures of a game where your team needs you, and Carson Palmer delivers just a strike to Denarius Moore. You got to make that play. And I got to tell you, that's the kind of effect that a guy like Mark Barron, right there, that safety, the way he hits people, that's when you know you're playing that position well, when receivers not so sure about going across the middle.
2nd and 10 on the 30. Palmer with a play action. Gets to Goodson. And Goodson tackle appeared just shy of the first down yardage by Quincy Black.
Mike Goodson is a good football player. Came from Carolina. The problem with him over the past has been he's been a fumbler. He seems to have corrected that. He's not Darren McFadden, though. And you notice there hasn't been any run calls since McFadden has been out, at least not a heavy dose of them.
Raiders have been outscored by a huge margin in the 3rd quarter this year. And it's the same story here today. The pass to Mike Goodson. First down and out of bounds. Just shy of midfield. And time for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, a good day for running backs in Seattle. Marshawn Lynch, 3-yard touchdown run. His first score of the game, but he's over the 100-yard mark. And the Seahawks lead Minnesota 27-20. Dick and John, Adrian Peterson, 170 yards rushing, and 2 scores in this one.
Wow, what a show indeed of the running backs out in Seattle.
It's my cousin, Marshawn, up there.
1st and 10. You'll just grasp for any relative you can who's doing well in this league.
I'll claim him.
I know your game. Here's Moore. And Moore fights his way to the 46, or make it the 44, where Quincy Black makes the tackle as we wind down to 4 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter, and the Buccaneers leading 21-10.
I think if I'm the Buccaneers right now, I'm thinking, all right, they've been dinking and dunking a little. Here comes the shot. They're going to try us up top. If I'm Leonard Johnson and E.J. Bigger's the corner, that's what I'm thinking right about now.
2nd and 3, and the pass caught by Hayward Bay. Short pass, but good enough for the first down to the 38. 6-yard pickup. Raiders moving the ball, only down by 11, and still some time left here in the 3rd.
Good decision by Carson Palmer. That's a designed run. That's supposed to be a run play. He sees 8 guys in the box from the Buccaneer defense, a safety coming down. He says, we're going to take the throw, gets the first down.
Hayward Bay has 5 catches. He and Goodson lead the Raiders in receiving. First down. And the pass is intercepted by Leonard Johnson. And he stops the threat by the Raiders. And you can see Carson Palmer's disgust as he comes off the field. T.O. Nessheim with the pressure set this up.
Great play by Leonard Johnson. His eyes on Carson Palmer. Throws off his back foot with the pressure. Interception, Buccaneers.
So Leonard Johnson with the interception of Carson Palmer's pass. Second turnover of the game by the Raiders. First turnover was when they gambled on the punt situation, and Rondé Barber recovered a fumble. First down at the 32. Martin going up the middle again, picking up a couple. So Leonard Johnson making another contribution. For more, let's go down to Jennifer Hale.
Well, Dick, I had a chance to chat with Leonard before the game, and he told me he spent hours every night this week studying the Raider receivers and how they get in and out of their breaks, their routes. He told me he pinpointed, obviously, some weaknesses he thought he could exploit. He told me he is so grateful to get to play with the big boys again, and I said, well, gee, you are one. He said, no, not yet. I'm just earning my stripes still.
Well, I'll tell you, Jennifer, it's his 2nd interception in as many games. Did one against Minnesota. So he has 2 in 2 games. That's not bad. Second down and 9 from the 33. They go to Martin. Martin off the left side, breaks a tackle, and here's Martin again. Inside the 20, and Martin will get in for the touchdown. The first one was 45 yards. This one's 67 for Doug Martin. And Giordano is hurt and on the field, injured for the Raiders.
You've got young running backs all across America going out and starting to break dance right now, because if it's working for Doug Martin, it's working for them. And let me tell you something, he had his bust out game last week. Again, his coach challenged him. You did it 1 week, can you do it again? My goodness, has he delivered.
174 yards in the game. And there is the injured Matt Giordano, the free safety. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have outscored the Raiders here in the third quarter with 3 touchdowns. And Connor Barth trying to make it a 28-10 game. And 21 points for the Buccaneers here in the third quarter. Last week, it was a week ago Thursday actually, Martin with a big game with great numbers, 214 total yards, including 135 rushing and a pair of touchdowns. And he has not let up at all. 10 days later, again playing on the road, 17 carries, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns, a career mark.
You look at this last run, again, right up the middle. Missed tackles by the Oakland Raiders, and this guy, Doug Martin, he'll make you pay when you miss a tackle, because he can go the distance, as he's done twice today. You see him, he hides behind that line at 5'9", and then strength. He's a bowling ball. He's 215 pounds, chiseled muscle, and he can get it.
When he came into our room yesterday to talk to us, he had a smile on his face, a happy, sincere smile, and it never left his face the whole time.
I can tell you, as a player in this league, when you get a chance to go home, everybody always tries to tell you, oh, it's just another game. It's not another game. You want to show off in front of your friends and family. He's got 90 of them there here today, and he's showing off in good fashion.
Born in Oakland and went to Stockton, California, and what could be a better scenario for this rookie from Boise State than to come back home and have the kind of fabulous game he's experiencing. Ball blown off the tee. How about this third quarter for the Bucs, who trailed 10-7 at the half?
Unbelievable. You look at the discrepancy in yards. The Buccaneers seem to have had the ball the entire quarter. The turnover by Leonard Johnson led to the second explosive run.
Freeman 16 of 27, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Goodson will decide to take it out at the 20. Well, this week on Fox College Saturday, it's a doubleheader beginning with 11th-ranked Oregon State battling 14th-ranked Stanford as both teams try to stay in the race for the conference championship. Then the second-ranked K-State Wildcats look to keep their national title hopes alive as they take on upset-minded TCU. Coverage of Fox College football begins Saturday at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific on Fox. First down from the 20, and Palmer's pass is incomplete, intended for Denarius Moore. My partner here, John Lynch, coming back to the Bay Area where you played your college ball, of course, at Stanford and Palo Alto, and they enjoyed a huge victory yesterday.
They did, and they might have found themselves a new quarterback. Filling Andrew Luck's shoes, not an envious position. And Kevin Hogan went in there yesterday and played well. He might be the new guy here for Stanford.
You were a quarterback once there before you switched. How did that work out? Pass up the middle and a first down. Denarius Moore picks it up if they get past the 30.
Tell you, Carson Palmer, this is a tough position for quarterbacks. You fall behind like this, you've got a defense that thrives on the turnovers. We saw it the last drive. Tough situation for Carson Palmer.
Matt Giordano, the free safety who was shaken up on Martin's touchdown run, has a hamstring injury, won't be back. False start, 5 yards being marked off now against Oakland.
False start, number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
5-yard penalty. And Dennis Allen talked about how the discipline has been better. The penalties are down. That hasn't been necessarily the case, and the Raiders' history speaks for itself.
I guess it does. I mean, every decade, that means you got a problem, and he's done a nice job of rectifying that. And today it hasn't been so good.
1st and 15 going underneath, completing to Myers. And the tight end is wrestled down by David. And a gain of 10. Well, but this is a better year for them penalty-wise compared to the last 2 years.
Yeah, when you're last in the league in terms of meaning you had the most penalty yards, this year they're 6th best in the league with only 47 penalty yards a game. Today, where are they at? They got 55 yards worth of penalties.
On 6 penalties. They've been outdone by the Bucs, however. 2nd down, and this is a pass that is caught by Marcel Reese. Managed to hold on to the ball, and a pass to Reese, who is a fullback but can play a lot of different positions. That's a 36-yard play.
Carson Palmer says they list him as fullback. He's not really a fullback. This guy's a receiver. That's what he was in high school. That's what he was at the University of Washington, and he shows you why.
And he managed to hold on to that ball when he hit the ground. 1st and 10. Now at the 36 of Tampa Bay, going up top and going home. Pass was intended for Derek Hagan, but there were 3 Buccaneers who were closer to it.
There seems like it's been a number of times today that Carson Palmer has not been on the same page as his wide receivers. A lot of these routes are adjusted during the course of the play, and they're not on the same page today.
Started the game impressively by blocking a field goal attempt, running it back, getting a 3-0 lead. Eventually took a 10-7 lead at the half, but Tampa Bay has exploded here in the 3rd. 2nd and 10. Caught by Reese. And a first down by Reese as time runs out here in the 3rd quarter. With the score, the Buccaneers 28 and the Raiders 10. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. In the aftermath of natural disasters like Superstorm Sandy, the American Red Cross provides life-saving services such as meals, shelter, and mobilizing resources and workers nationwide. Visit redcross.org or text Red Cross to 90999 to give a $10 donation. 1st and 10 at the 21. As we start the 4th quarter with a penalty. Walt Anderson.
Defense, 12 men. 5-yard penalty.
He's been working hard today as Walt Anderson. Too many men on the field.
And that shouldn't happen after a stoppage of play. That came off a stoppage of play. Got 12 men on the field. Not good for the Buccaneer defense.
Smiles on the faces of the Buccaneers on the sideline on both sides of the ball, leading 28-10. 1st down and 5. Palmer in the pocket, lost it into the end zone, trying to go to Marcel Reese. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have lost 6 out of 7 to the Raiders in their history, and they haven't played since 2008, but leading here 28-10. Dick Stockton, along with John Lynch and Jennifer Hale here in Oakland.
That last play, you see Marcel Reese, the fullback, wide open, but the pressure from Gerald McCoy and Michael Bennett forces the errant throw from Palmer.
2nd and 5, going underneath to Goodson, and Goodson gets inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal for the Raiders.
You know, the interesting thing at the end of that play, you see Eric Wright in on the tackle. Eric Wright We talked about Aqib Talib being traded. The other starting corner was Eric Wright. Now they're not playing him in the base. They're playing Biggers and Leonard Johnson. Eric Wright playing as a substitutional player in the slot.
And now Mike Goodson is injured. Goodson is injured. They've already lost Darren McFadden with a leg injury, and now Goodson, the backup, is hurt. So Marcel Reese is in the backfield, and Carson Palmer completes to Myers, and Myers gets in for the touchdown. Brandon Myers, who is the leading receiver coming in, very deceptive as the leader, gets it across.
And yes, he does. You see it right there. Stretches it over the end line. Touchdown Raiders.
Sebastian Janikowski to attempt the extra point.
So Janikowski will be on to again try to make this an 11-point game early here in the fourth quarter. So the Raiders get a very important touchdown and now trail 28-17 on an 80-yard scoring drive, and capped with the TD pass to Myers. There is Carson Palmer rallying his offensive team, and Brandon Myers with his first touchdown catch of the year. And it's a 28-17 game with a lot of time remaining. And Aurelius Ben will return this 6 yards in the end zone. Good return by Aurelius Ben of 34 yards. So there's Goodson, who is shaken up, and as we told you, been on the training table trying to move and cut. Already Darren McFadden has been lost for the rest of the game, and now Goodson.
You see Goodson at the end of the play twist that right ankle. I believe it gets caught under Lavonte David, and that leaves Taiwan Jones as the only halfback left healthy if Goodson can't go.
First down at the 30. Martin, by the way, gained 143 yards on 9 carries in the third quarter. Picks up where he left off. Breaks a tackle. Trying to outrace the defender, and he will. "70 yards this time." A rushing performance for the ages for the rookie Doug Martin.
And where does it go? Where does it start? Right up the middle once again. Carl Nix is gone. No problem, Doug Martin says, because I got you. And my goodness, has he coming home in unbelievable fashion. This young man, the rest of the league better watch out. They were all laughing at those Ray Rice comparisons a couple weeks ago. Not anymore.
So a 70-yard touchdown run. He had a 67-yarder in the third quarter, as well as a 45-yard touchdown scamper. And it's 34-17, Carter Bard with the extra point. And so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sparked by their phenomenal rookie running back, who has gained 244 yards on 18 carries, again reached that 34 mark that they had in the last 3 games, and widened their lead again. Doug Martin with a new team record of 244 yards, smashing James Wilder's mark of 219, established back in '83 against the Minnesota Vikings. But Martin, who had 3 touchdowns coming into this game, has doubled that, now has 6, averaging 13.6 yards per carry, and he did it all in his hometown, the place he was born, here in Oakland, California. Great story. Coy Francis will down it there for a touchback, and the Raiders will start from the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you what, you talk about the last 2 weeks that Doug Martin has put together. With Minnesota, 135 rush yards, 79 receiving, 244 on the ground today. Unbelievable what this young man's doing.
And you know, he had to be first to get those tickets for his mom, you know, at
You make mom
Couldn't
happy.
waste any
You
time.
always make mom happy.
First down at the 20. 35-17. Carson Palmer completes the pass to Rod Streeter, and he picks up 8 yards. Well, the bad news continues for the Raiders running backs. Mike Goodson will not return, has an ankle injury. Darren McFadden with a leg injury. The starter has been out, so Marcel Reese, very versatile performer, getting a chance here. Second down and 2. And a good catch made there by Streeter. Second in a row by Streeter, but a flag is down at the 45.
Looks like they're going to get a hold on the Buccaneer defense.
Holding, number 29, defense. The penalty is declined. First down.
So the cornerback Leonard Johnson, who has an interception today, called for holding. 15-yard pass, penalty declined. First down at the 43. Palmer today 8-28 of 43. They run the ball only 9 times today, have the Raiders. And another flag is down. Let's see if that is a defensive penalty. Grab all the oxygen you can, Mr. Martin.
He's earned it. He has earned it.
Offside, number 91, defense. Unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Daquan Bowers. So it'll be first down and 5. Only 2 minutes into this fourth quarter, and the Buccaneers, Greg Schiano's team, has exploded, as he pointed out. People didn't know them as an offensive powerhouse. They have been the last 4 games. First and 5 at the 48. Palmer with time and completes to Denarius Moore. And Moore getting into Buccaneer territory, and a big gain there. And one of the Tampa Bay players is shaken up. 26-yard pass play, and it's Leonard Johnson who's down.
Leonard Johnson, the local kid from Tampa, Largo High School, who's played really well the last 2 weeks. Injured, remember they've traded Aqib Talib, Eric Wright playing in the nickel situations. Look like Myron Lewis will come on the field for Leonard Johnson.
All right, we'll have an injury timeout, and we'll return. Here's the end of that one, and we'll be back. Back here in Oakland, Leonard Johnson was shaken out and is out of the game and replaced by Myron Lewis, number 23. First down at the 26 of the Bucs. Carson Palmer going underneath to Marcel Reese. And Reese stopped just short of the first down by E.J. Biggers. So it'll be second down and 1. They're not going to run any more, down by 35-17, but the Raiders have been outrushed 275-17. 9 rushes for an average of just under 2. But it's a passing game for them. Second down and 1. Well, here's a running play, and Reese gets a first down and gets inside the 10. And another penalty thrown at the 15, and it's holding against Oakland.
10-yard penalty, still second down.
Get Mike Brizell, the right guard. See him on Gerald McCoy right there, and that's what great players do. Gerald McCoy becoming that for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a force. Not only do they make plays, they make you make penalties on them because they're so active.
Well, one of these teams trying to get to 4-4, what would be the midpoint mark for both of these clubs. That was what was at stake today. And for the Raiders, trying to make it 3 in a row, but they're on the short end big time here. Second down and 11, and there's the screen to Reese. And Reese is tackled at the 21 by Rondé Barber.
Barber on the tackle. Great hustle play by Gerald McCoy, tracking down Reese.
You played with Rondé Barber, and he's gone some downtime since, of course, he won the Super Bowl, but he continues to come back, and this has got to be rewarding for him to have this kind of year.
He's having fun. He's been re-energized by this young team. Greg Schiano, he's a big fan. Greg Schiano's hard on him. He doesn't get the senior discounts, as he calls them, anymore. He's out there every practice, but he's loving it. He's playing incredibly well.
3rd down and 5. Tywan Jones in at running back. And there's a pass caught. 1st down, Rod Streeter. Oh, he's a good-looking receiver. Is Streeter, the rookie from Temple, not drafted, gets 7 yards and moves the chains.
Raiders moving the ball well, but I think the Buccaneers content just to keep the ball in front of them at this point. Don't give up the big play. Make them earn. Make them go the hard way on everything they get.
1st down at the 15.
In
into the end zone. Flag is down. E.J. Biggers batted the ball away, but he may have made contact as well on Rod Streeter.
Really, to me, the defense failed E.J. Biggers. You got to play better technique.
Pass interference, number 31, defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. 1st down, 1 yard line.
You can't show your hand that early to a guy like Carson Palmer. They show that it's one-on-one from the very early stages of that look, and you leave your quarterback out on that proverbial island. Lonely feeling, E.J. Biggers. Sometimes all you can do is grab.
1st and goal at the 1. And again, the Raiders trying to get it to a 2-possession game, an 11-point game. And there's the pass, caught, touchdown, Brandon Myers, his 2nd of the game. So Brandon Myers, who led the team in receiving coming in, but had not caught a touchdown pass, has grabbed 2 in this one.
So with the extra point, you get it back to 11, but now begs the question, how do you stop Doug Martin?
That's a big question. 1 yard pass to Myers, and Janikowski on for the extra point, and he makes it an 11-point game, 35-24. But a good question with Martin exploding for 244 yards, and that's without Carl Nix, his all-pro guard. Aurelius Ben goes deep for the Buccaneers, and Janikowski will kick off. It's 35-24. We had 17 total points in the first half. 42, and here's the onside kick, and it's taken by the Bucs, and it's Ahmad Black. So with nearly 10 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, the Raiders decide to go for the onside kick, and the Buccaneers will have it at the 44 of Tampa Bay.
What a heads-up and aggressive play by Ahmad Black. Janikowski comes with a perfect kick, kind of a surprise onside. Watch Ahmad Black go attack that football.
Set the game clock to 9:45.
Talk about the moment of truth. Who's going to make the play? Right there, it was Ahmad Black.
And a gamble there, and now the Buccaneers have field position at the 44, and they have number 22 as well, Doug Martin.
I think if I'm on the Raiders defense, I'm thinking they might hand it to 22.
There's a chance. They fake to him, and they flip it to Nate Byam, and the tight end picking up good yardage, nearly 9 on the play, and not stepping out of bounds. So the clock continues to run here. A lot of time left, but the onside kick backfires, and they're going to say it is a 10-yard gain and a 1st down for the Buccaneers.
That's exactly what they were thinking, but a great call by Mike Sullivan, because everyone's got their attention on Doug Martin. Fake the ball to Doug Martin, then come on the boot to Nick Byam.
LeGarrette Blount is into the game now as the tailback. And Blount gets the carry. There's a penalty flag down again. So that's the 19th penalty of the game. And Richard Seymour may be guilty of offsides.
Offsides, number 92, defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So it's 1st and 5 for the Bucks. There's Martin, who's itching to get back in there, needing 52 yards to break Adrian Peterson's all-time rushing record of a game, 296. How about the second half?
Unbelievable. Look at Doug Martin. He's not tired. He wants back in. He wants some of that record.
He looks like he's in the neutral corner, ready to come out for round 1. First down and 5. And here's Blunt backed up, but he's got power. And holding on from behind was Tyvon Branch, the strong safety. So Doug Martin has put on an incredible performance today. 3 touchdowns, all explosive runs.
He's got tremendous vision, tremendous balance, explosion, everything you're looking for in a big-time running back. He's put it on full display here today.
244 yards, 3 touchdowns. And TD runs of 70, 67, and 45. Blunt fumbles. And the Raiders may have it. And it's Seymour. Richard Seymour recovers for Oakland. And there's life in the silver and black still.
If you're a Buccaneer fan, you're saying, why isn't Doug Martin in right now? I tell you that they were concerned about the amount of touches that Doug Martin, he had 32 touches against the Minnesota Vikings, 22 here today. They're concerned about that, but nonetheless, I'd have the young man in there. They can't stop him. And unfortunately for the Buccaneers and LeGarrette Blount, they just turn over back to the Raiders, 11-point ball game.
And a new life, 2-score game as Seymour recovers the fumble. And the Raiders will have a first down on their 35, still with a lot of time remaining. And the Raiders with 3 timeouts remaining. They have lost their top 2 running backs, including their star McFadden. And the pass caught. Incomplete. Myers did not hold on, so it's an incomplete pass. And it's 2nd and 10.
If I'm the Buccaneers, again, you go back to you make them earn everything they get. Keep the ball in front of you. It's all right if they get yards. It's all right if they move the chains. Do not give up the big play.
Raiders trying to take advantage of the turnover. Down by 11. Palmer stepping up. And the pass nearly picked off by Barber. Rondé Barber, who has either a forced fumble or an interception in each of the last 4 games, nearly got another one.
That's not something you see much. He gets his hands on a ball. He usually brings it in, does Rondé Barber. But an outstanding play nonetheless, undercutting Myers. Nearly the big interception.
So it's 3rd down and 10. Still on the 35. Pressure on Palmer, and the pass is caught by Marcel Reese. Reese loses his left shoe and nearly broken all the way. Ahmad Black caught up with him after a gain of 20 yards, and Levante David came in untouched.
Carson Palmer does a great job of seeing the blitz. Let me show you something, though. Watch the tackle at the end of this play by Ahmad Black, because if he doesn't get Marcel Reese, he is out the door. Great play by Ahmad Black, who went up and got that onside kick as well. Ahmad Black showing up and making some plays for the Buccaneers as well.
And a 20-yard gain for the Raiders. First down on the Bucs 45. Under 7 minutes to go, and the quick to the outside to Hagan. And Hagan is tackled, and another good tackle. That was Levante David, the rookie from Nebraska, and holds Hagan to a gain of 6.
And there's this play by Ahmad Black. Sometimes you got to take their shoe off, and that's exactly what he does. He held on, and here's Levante David. A good tackling team are the Buccaneers. They're showing it.
2nd and 4. Handoff Taiwan Jones, and he's put down by David again. What an inspired series by Lavonte David, the second-round pick from Nebraska, and that is his 14th tackle of the game.
There's a lot of people in the league right now knowing that Lavonte David went in the second round saying, what were we thinking, not picking him in the first round? This kid can play some football.
So now it's 3rd down and 2. Palmer on the slant, incomplete, deflected off of Derek Hagan. And it is 4th down and 2. And the Raiders, with 5:46 to go, down by 11, will have to go for it on 4th down and 2 here.
You got to think Carson Palmer will tell you all day long his #1 targets 17, Denarius Moore. He's been quiet today. Streeter, Myers have had big games today along with Reese. We'll see where Palmer goes with it.
And maybe the Raiders' chances rest right here to hang in the game.
They're going to be one-on-ones on the outside. If they want this matchup to go up top, they've got it.
4th down and 2. Here's pressure. And this pass is incomplete. Moore, and the flag is down. 2 penalty markers down at the 20. Eric Wright was defending Denarius Moore. And a pass interference penalty will give the Raiders a first down.
Number 21, defense. First down.
You watch Eric Wright working on Denarius Moore. He's got a hold of that jersey. I really think it's more of holding rather than pass interference.
Right,
you see the right hand, but they call pass interference nonetheless. Bottom line, you can't panic as a defensive back. Trust your technique.
So now a first down on the 24 of Tampa Bay. Pressure again, and here's the pass. Hayward Bay trying to make another one-handed grab like he did earlier. And Leonard Johnson, who was shaken up earlier and came back in the game defending.
They've got the matchup they like. There is Hayward Bay on Leonard Johnson. Another beautifully thrown football by Hayward Bay. Sometimes you got to stop worrying about keeping that DB off with the left hand. Get both hands up there to try to make the grab.
2nd down and 10. Palmer. Flag down. Palmer completes to Streeter. And he's inside the 10, but a penalty flag back down at the 32.
Holding, number 68, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
And a critical holding penalty on Jared Valdir, the left tackle, will bring back what have been a 1st and goal for the Raiders.
Watch Valdir working on Teo Nesheim. Going to get his hands around him on the outside. Right there at the end of that, Walt Anderson going to call the penalty on Valdir.
So a 16-yard gain has been nullified, and now the Raiders will be looking at a 2nd down and 20 from the 34 of Tampa Bay.
At this point in the game, you're in 4-down territory. If you're Carson Palmer, you don't need it all right now. Get half of it back.
In motion is Jerron Kreiner. And the pass is complete to Brandon Myers. And Myers will go out of bounds. Tackled by Lewis and stopping the clock with 4:59 remaining and a pickup of 5.
There's LeGarrette Blount, who fumbled on the exchange with Josh Freeman, watching anxiously. It's Carson Palmer, 3rd and 15. Tough situation, but again, 4-down territory right here.
Palmer has thrown 55 passes for 383 yards, 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. 3rd and 15. Underneath, pass caught by Myers, and he could not break the tackle by David to get a first down. Eric Wright finally makes the stop, and a 13-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down and about 1.5. Make it 2. So they're going for it on 4th and 2, not trying to get the field goal, and the quarterback sneak by Palmer, and a first down inside the 15.
You know, and Carson Palmer, I think, did that on his own. No huddle, went up to the line of scrimmage. Because you have to ask the question at that point, 11-point game, do you kick the field goal, make it a 1-score, 8-point game?
So in their way of thinking, they want to get the touchdown first.
Doesn't matter to me. I think it's important that you need 2 scores. You get them as quickly as you can.
Under 4 minutes remaining. First down. Palmer's pass. Caught. Touchdown, Marcel Reese. So on 4th down, on 2 occasions, the Raiders went for it. They got a pass interference the one time. They got a quarterback sneak the second time, and a 13-yard pass from Palmer to Marcel Reese. And it's 35-30, and the 2-point conversion coming up now. And there's Greg Schiano, who ran onto the field, now getting back.
We go for 2 to make it a field goal game. See who Palmer, their bunch left right here. Someone coming out of that bunch.
And there's Palmer, and he's going to throw it up for grabs. It's caught. Gerard Kreiner. And just as Carson Palmer was going down, he fired it up in the air, and Kreiner out-jumped Buccaneer defenders, and it's now a field goal difference, 35-32. And it all started with a turnover by the Bucs.
There's the turnover on the exchange. The ball never gets in to LeGarrette Blount's hands. Leads to the touchdown. Carson Palmer to Marcel Reese. What a football. Then he throws it up to the rookie. A lot of trust in a rookie, Kreiner, on the 4th down. Palmer eludes the sack, throws it up there, and Kreiner on one of those 50-50 balls, throws it up there. His rookie goes and gets it for him.
5th-round pick out of the University of Arizona. What timing here?
Greg Knapp said last week on Friday, we met with him. He said, we like this kid on 50-50 balls. I think they really like him on 50-50 balls about right now.
He made it an 80-20 ball there. And remember, the Raiders, who are down by 3, have all 3 of their timeouts remaining with 3:51 on the clock. And Carson Palmer with a courageous drive.
Dick, the interesting thing, Tampa has their hands team on, but with all 3 timeouts, traditionally you would kick deep. The problem is right now you can't stuff Doug Martin.
And they're going to kick this one deep. So an 11-play, 65-yard scoring drive, and it's a 35-32 game. Right now we're going to have a game break and send it out to Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Well, exactly at the moment that the Raiders were scoring in your game, the Steelers were scoring in the Meadowlands. Isaac Redman, 1-yard run, gives Pittsburgh the lead late in the 4th quarter, 24-20 over the New York Giants, but still 4 minutes left to go for Eli and company. John, Tip.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. And this is the excitement of the NFL. Pure and simple. First down at the 20. Doug Martin, by the way, back in the game. Here's Martin, slips, and will lose a couple.
That's the only way they've tackled him today, him slipping. But it comes at an opportune time for Tyvon Branch and the Oakland Raiders.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Tommy Kelly, who was hurt earlier, came back in the game, urging on this crowd, and they don't mind responding.
Remember, you try to stop Doug Martin, it leaves one-on-ones outside.
Freeman going to the man you circled, Vincent Jackson, and overthrows him, bringing up 3rd and 11.
But Michael Huff stands up to the challenge. Coach says, we're going to put confidence in you. We've got to stop Doug Martin. Michael Huff stands up to the challenge.
Third and 11, and this crowd is in full throw.
Are they ever?
Pass caught. Flag down at midfield. Tyquan Underwood makes the catch, and the play clock expires.
Before the snap, delay of game, offense.
It did.
That's a 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Give that one to the Oakland crowd. I think it's so loud, Josh Freeman could not communicate what he wanted to get done.
You're right. Now it is third down and 16. The ball back on the 14.
The clock is correct at 3:03.
The play clock was running. And another delay of game penalty.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Give another one to the Oakland crowd.
Boy, did they come alive like their team did. Caught by Underwood. Fourth down.
The defense did their job. The crowd did their job.
This is the first
Raiders have a
timeout,
chance.
Oakland, 30-second timeout.
And the Raiders have called their first timeout of the second half. They have 2 left. And what a game we have seen without Carl Nix, the guard. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been able to run for an incredible 276 yards, and without Darren McFadden and his backup, the Raiders have been able to move down the field and come back in this game.
Give a lot of credit to Carson Palmer. Without his star running back Darren McFadden, they put the onus on him. He's chucked it 37 times, 409 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. They've got to have confidence in him on this drive.
Adams will go back. In this fourth quarter, the Raiders were down by as many as 18 points. 35-17. Kanan will kick from inside his 15. And here's Adams. And down he goes at the 38 by Myron Lewis. 2:42 remain in the fourth quarter. And look at that second half. Tampa Bay 21-0 edge in the third, and the Raiders have outscored the Bucs 22-7 in the fourth. And Oakland has 2 timeouts remaining.
Is this any good, partner?
You know, this has been a dramatic game. We've had special teams plays, block kicks, spectacular long pass plays for touchdowns, and then Doug Martin with 3 sensational big runs for scores. Starting from the 38. And going deep for Streeter, and just beyond his reach. Bringing up 2nd and 10.
Carson Palmer saw the Buccaneers. Lack of communication, lack of knowing where they're supposed to be. No one in the middle of the field. He takes a shot at Rod Streeter. E.J. Bigger's out there all alone again. Just outstretched hands of Rod Streeter.
In this fourth quarter, Carson Palmer has thrown 3 touchdown passes. Now it's 2nd and 10. this one is intercepted. Ahmad Black running it back. And Ahmad Black may have sealed it for the Buccaneers. Right into his hands. The third turnover committed by the Raiders and the second interception for the Bucs.
And it was the pressure up front. Gerald McCoy gets a hit on Carson Palmer, causes the errant throw, and Ahmad Black, who's made 3 big plays, getting the onside kick, the tackle on Marcel Reese. And just a bad throw by Carson Palmer. Gerald McCoy has him under duress. Costly mistake by Carson Palmer and the Oakland Raiders.
And a 34-yard return by Black. And now the Buccaneers have a first down on the 22 of the Raiders. 2:27 remaining. And Doug Martin getting the call, and Doug Martin with a first down, getting to the 10. Branch bringing him down, but another first down. It'll be first and goal, Tampa Bay.
And where did they go? Right into the teeth of the defense again, right down the gut. Right by Tommy Kelly, right by Miles Burris. Doug Martin does not go down by arm tackles. You've got to put a body on this young man.
And we're down to the 2-minute warning. Yes. So Doug Martin, one of many stars in this game, but perhaps the biggest for Tampa Bay. We'll be back. Well, coming up after the game, the Pepsi postgame show. Wrap everything up on this NFL weekend. We have 2 minutes remaining here in Oakland with the Buccaneers leading 35-32. Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining. And the big interception by Ahmad Black. Raiders turning it over 3 times, and now Freeman has a first and goal at the 9. Here's Doug Martin. Martin is going to dive close to the goal line and shy of the touchdown. Branch prevented the touchdown. Martin has scored 3 already today. And the Raiders will call a timeout. They will have 1 left.
He's been phenomenal. He's been following that guy, Eric Lorig, all day long. Eric Lorig has been one of the heroes because he's opening a lot of these big holes, and you give this guy a little space, he's going to make a lot of yards. And that's what Doug Martin's done all day long.
And again, we go back to the beginning when you talked about the loss of the Pro Bowl guard, Carl Nix, and really the key to the great running that the Buccaneers have had this year. And so Jeremy Zuttah going to left guard and Ted Larson to center. Earlier in the year, they lost Davin Joseph, and this team has fought through it, John.
Only 2 of the original starting offensive linemen, Zuttah and Donald Penn, on this offensive line, and boy, have they played well today. I give them all game balls.
One of these teams, and the Buccaneers trying to hold on to go to 500. Second down and goal from the 1, and here is Martin. Touchdown! Doug Martin coming back to his hometown of Oakland, scoring 4 touchdowns for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who now lead it 41-32. And that is a team record, 4 touchdowns rushing.
Set up by that man, Ahmad Black, and you see Ernest Biner, a former great running back in the league, the running back coach for the Buccaneers, giving a little dap to his protege, Doug Martin.
Connor Barth on to add the 42nd point of the game for Tampa Bay. And the Buccaneers have scored 38, 28, 36, and now 42 points, John, in their last 4 games.
Well, we told you in the open, nobody's been better offensively the last month than the Buccaneers, and they did nothing to lessen that today. Have exploded for 42 more points, 535 yards. This offense is on fire.
298 rushing yards, 265 from Martin alone. And it's hard to believe that it was a 10-7 game at halftime.
So much for the low-scoring affair we had going on. They said, let's score some points, and Doug Martin led the charge.
But, you know, we talked about some of the big plays. You call them explosive, but you know an explosive play when you see one. that we had in the first half. And I asked you, what about the second half? And you said, we're going to see more of the same. And we did. Did we ever?
That's what these teams do. Greg Schiano likes to refer to them as fly-over plays. He might change that to fly through because Doug Martin's been at the center of them, flying through that Oakland defense. Ernest Biner right there with Doug Martin. See the dejected Oakland Raiders because they mounted a nice charge to get themselves within 3. Then the key turnover by Carson Palmer, the interception by Ahmad Black.
They were down 35-17 early in the fourth quarter, John, and they fought back to what you just said, a field goal game, making a 2-point conversion. And then they got the ball back. But the interception taking the wind out of their sails. And Coy Francis will down it for the touchback. So the successful October for the Buccaneers, and now into November continues. Averaging 34 points last month, 42 in this game. And yards per play, you don't do better than 7-1. Well, you did today at 9.2.
And they say you can take our left guard, Carl Nix. We'll get him back next year, but we're not going to stop rolling. And they just added on today, and some.
Raiders have 1 timeout left. First down from the 20. Palmer completes it to Myers. Steps out of bounds after picking up 5.
Carson Palmer going to have a sore arm tomorrow. That's his 60th attempt of the game.
You know, I don't think he's going to go in his regular 4 days rest, do you? On the pitcher's list. And there is another interception. E.J. Biggers this time. And the 3rd interception of the game by the Buccaneers. And Greg Knapp told us before the game, he says this Tampa Bay team has 10 interceptions. Their 8th in takeaways coming in. And they've taken away 4 more. And now have 13 interceptions on the year.
The Buccaneer defense, they've got things to work on. And one thing that they've shown is you can throw the football effectively on them. Ask the New York Giants, ask the New Orleans Saints, ask Carson Palmer and the Oakland Raiders. But they found a way to finish with these turnovers today.
And they'll go to 4-4 on the year and have won 3 out of 4. Their only loss was a heartbreaker to the New Orleans Saints, ending on a penalty on the last play of the game. They beat the Vikings 10 days ago on the road, and go on the road out west here to Oakland and win this one as well. And here is Martin. And the Raiders use their last timeout. So looking ahead to the Tampa Bay schedule, another AFC West team at home next week against San Diego. And looking down the line, a tough game at Denver. Another AFC West opponent. And they have 2 against, right now, undefeated Atlanta.
And likely not going to catch Atlanta. But they're not worried about Atlanta. They want to get themselves in this playoff hunt. And I tell you, the way this offense is playing right now, I'm not so sure that they can. The way this guy's playing. And I think you really got to credit this team and Greg Schiano. You've lost Davin Joseph, a Pro Bowl guard, your other Pro Bowl guard, and Carl Nix, an outstanding rookie in Adrian Claiborne on the defensive side of the ball, but they just keep rolling. They keep saying, all right, next man up, and they're doing it and doing it well.
1:31 remaining, 2nd down and 15. And here is Martin again. Not going anywhere, and content with that. As the clock runs and the Raiders no longer can stop the clock. So the Buccaneers lost to the Giants by 7 in the second week of the year, lost to the Washington Redskins by 2 on September 30th, and then that 7-point loss to New Orleans. So all of their losses, and Dallas by 6, have been by 7 or fewer. So they've hung in there in every game. And Ferrande Barber playing an incredibly great year at age 37. This is a big win for Tampa Bay, having to go west. Wheeler tackles Martin. Raiders will drop to 3-5 on the season and will fall 2 games behind the Denver Broncos, who won their game today over Cincinnati 31-23. Tough game for Dennis Allen, and you pointed out he has done a good job in his first year.
He's a good football coach, and I think he's going to get things right along with Reggie McKenzie. Remember, they came into salary cap problems here with the Raiders. They couldn't do much this offseason to address needs, and it's showing up on the field.
And time is going to run out, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, timeout called with 2 seconds left.
30-second timeout.
Bucs use their 3rd and final timeout with 2 ticks left on 4th down. Not sure what that
I've got no
implies.
idea. I've got no idea why you called timeout right there. But they're going to bring Rondé Barber in on offense. Probably a victory formation. 251. He lost some in this last drive going backwards, did Doug Martin.
He'll take it 4 touchdowns, 3 of them gigantic runs.
You see these guys, they go in the shotgun because they know what they do to people when they go in the victory formation.
And that'll do it. And the game is over, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have their first win ever here in Oakland as they defeat the Raiders 42-32 and go to 4-4 on the year, coming home next week against the San Diego Chargers. Doug Martin.